Cooling measures 30th September 2022. Actually, before I did this video, I was planning on doing another one discussing why property prices are going up so much. And the cooling measures dropped out of nowhere, which kind of rendered that video moot. Now, of course, it's not really out of nowhere, right? In fact, many people in the industry, including myself, have already expected that some kind of cooling measures would drop because the resale market is simply too hot. I mean, I don't even know why people thought that prices would go up non-stop. Is there anything which value actually goes up in one straight line? No, right? So why would property be an exception? If you can introduce me, I also want to buy there. Okay, enough about all that. This time around, the changes were targeted primarily at the HDB resale market. So for those sellers who I have met, do you regret not selling? Actually, there's still an opportunity for you. If you are planning to upgrade, please do take this chance to sell before prices start to dip further. Now back to the measures. Here are some changes that I would say are more relevant for the mass market. The first change is the stress test used to calculate your loan eligibility. For private bank loans, this has increased from 3.5% to 4%, which actually seems quite reasonable. For those of you who are taking HDB Housing Loan, the stress test has been increased from 2.6% to 3%. Please take note that this increase in stress test does not affect your actual loan interest rates. This is simply to ensure that buyers do not over-leverage and practice prudent borrowing. Another change for HDB properties is the change in your LTV ratio, which has been reduced from 85% to 80%. This means that buyers now have to fork out another 5% down payment and will be able to afford less. It is very likely we will see a trickle-down effect where buyers who were considering 5-room flats change their mind to 4-room flats instead. I believe in the short term, 4-room flat prices will increase due to a spur in demand. Furthermore, private property owners now have to wait 15 months before they can get a HDB resale property. While this does not affect those who are aged 55 and above and are looking for a 4-room flat or smaller, this is still another change that will help curb the demand for HDB resale properties. Okay, enough about all these boring details. So what exactly can we expect? Is a crash going to come? No! Because our property market is not a bubble. Prices have gone up significantly, yes, but largely due to actual demand. I know many people have been complaining so expensive how to buy, but the fact is there are still people buying. Maybe not you, maybe not me, but there are people still buying. Then, is this change significant? Probably not. Those who are still planning to buy a property will still do so. Maybe it's your first one, you're planning to start a family, maybe you just want to upgrade to a bigger unit. It doesn't matter. The demand is still there. The main change for buyers is that now what they can afford has been narrowed down. So for those thinking, can I buy now? Should I sell now? It really depends on your situation. If you need a property, then go ahead and buy lah. What else can you do? Don't start a family, man. Later your boyfriend, girlfriend don't want you, how? For those who are planning to sell, then you have to think, what is your next move? What are you planning to get next? Sometimes people may think that, hey, all these agents, they like to answer my questions with another question. But the fact is, how can we give advice if we don't know what situation you are in? There are so many variables in property planning and we can only assume so much. Okay, so I hope this video provides a summary of what have been implemented and what has changed. This is just my take on it. I hope you like this video and I'll see you in the next one.